This is Courage Barbell. I'm your host, Chad Ikes. Today's episode, I want to talk about my goals of where I'm at and a little bit of how I set them. I did just come back from a ride. It's really, really smoky here. So every now and then I'm having trouble catching my breath. As everyone knows, or most people that know that follow me, I started lifting in high school because I didn't achieve what I wanted in my freshman football year. So I needed to get faster and stronger. That was what I knew. So I started training in weights, loved it. Threw the shot put in college for a couple years, but that didn't really work out with some chronic compartment syndrome stuff that I have. Floundered around for a little bit, always lifting because I love to lift. Found powerlifting when I was about 27. Got serious when I was about 29 and said, listen, I can be good at this. I'm going to change whatever I need to change in my life to go for this goal. Gave it everything I had. Competed at the highest level for maybe, I think, 15, 20 years. Became one of the top lifters in history. That's kind of weird for me to say personally, but I put up some of the top numbers in history. They're still on the top 10 list. Was ranked number 2 in the world in the United States, breaking world records, did some of the craziest drug-free world records, broke bench world record in my first professional meet, just put up a bunch of crazy numbers, was crazy strong. There's stories of stupid shit I did outside the gym. But what I found out is that I had some severe sleep issues and some depression issues, which I had kind of dealt with my whole life, but I was always able to kind of deal with them. There were never nothing to send me spiraling down because I was at kind of a normal body weight and I didn't push my body the way I was pushing it for powerlifting. And what happened is I pushed myself down a very deep, dark hole, went to some very bad places. When I was in my prime and had still much bigger numbers in me, I needed to stop. I had friends, family pulled me to the side and they're like, Chad, this isn't worth it. Like, we see what's happening to you. And so we came up with a plan to kind of go into Highland Games for a couple years, hoping that I would drop a little bit of weight, focus more on throwing, not killing yourself in the gym all the time. And I did pretty good in Highland Games. I never threw pro. But I did pretty well in a high-level amateur. But I was still trying to push the weights too hard and still pushing my body too hard. And eventually I went, okay, I'm going to go back to powerlifting. Went full bore again, got my bench to where I was getting ready to go over 900 in competition. I was doing 900 in the gym. Tore the hell out of my tricep. Just too much again for my body. And eventually kind of backed away from everything. I competed at 385 to 400 pounds was my strongest. Actually, 385 was probably my strongest. But keep in mind, my natural body weight is between 240 and 270. Like, I was usually around 245, 250. I would get down to 220 sometimes. And that was my natural body weight. So I'm still carrying tons of weight. And then a few times later, about 3 or 4 years ago, I finally dropped down into 285. And I actually felt really good and I had more energy. My depression, I wasn't really dealing with depression. My sleep still wasn't the best in the world, but I wasn't exhausted all the time. I was able to deal with it. It was more of a normal life and I was in much better shape. But I kind of got into some issues with my personal life and I didn't handle some things very well. And I started putting on weight. And I kind of got back into that mentality of let's see where I can bench now. Let's get my bench back up. And before I knew it, I was 330, 340. Sleep sucked. I was back on the CPAP. Dealing with more depression. Was not able to handle things that were normal in life would completely throw me down the little cliff. and it just got bad, and it was not good, and I didn't even recognize that this was happening. And so then recently, in the last year or so, I'm like, okay, hey, this, you need to drop weight. You shouldn't have got this heavy again. But I still wanted to train heavy, and I'll be turning 50 here the beginning of next year. So what is that? 6 months away, something like that. So I set these goals for 50. One was to bench 500 raw. One was to hopefully put a shirt on during that year and try to hit a high 7 or 8. Do a 2,000 pound raw total if I could get my back healed up. I even thought, well, hey, I'm going to start throwing the shot put again and try to hit 50 plus at 50. And I started sinking into these patterns of strength again. I've spent so many years focusing on strength, and strength being the main goal. And over the past few months, I've had this nagging inside of me, just my focus isn't clear. It's hard to explain. I knew I had these goals that I'm working to, but nothing seems to be going right, and I keep having these nagging injuries that aren't healing, and my sleep's not great, and I'm just not feeling good. I don't want to say I'm not happy, because happiness is an emotion, and it's a feeling, and it comes and goes. But almost low-grade depression that just doesn't go away, just like a sadness. But I couldn't really get clarity on it. And I had a conversation last night with somebody that is very important to me, that I've known for probably maybe 30 years. And it's kind of weird, because during this conversation, we didn't even really talk so much about this stuff. We talked about a lot of different things in general. And when I got off the phone, it was just I just had this clarity on a couple different topics that I've been kind of struggling with. And I just saw everything so clear. It was really weird. It was weird to me. It was like this person has this energy or this vibe. They put off these wavelengths that just connects to me, and it kind of helps me focus and see what I need to see. And it got me thinking that, in the past, I remembered some times in relationships and such where I would be getting bad, and my sleep would be getting bad, and I would get frustrated, and the people around me, my family or my friends or whoever I'm dating at the time, they want to help. And I would more or less get annoyed, and I'd be like, there's nothing you can do. This is just life. This is what I have to deal with. I just got to get through this. And what I would do is I would keep training heavy, cut out some of my recovery sessions trying to sleep, try to spend time in more time in bed. And it actually, looking back now, only made things worse. When what I should have been doing is cutting out the heavy lifting, doing more cardio, getting in shape, getting outside more, and doing more things, and not letting my weight creep up. So today, after thinking last night and thinking today, I'm like, that's it. This is all pretty clear. I have never put my health first. Ever. I always lifted because I loved lifting. I wanted to be strong. Yeah, you kind of go, yeah, my health's important, but I've never actually put my health first. Even when I started dropping weight, because I had pushed so far in powerlifting, it was kind of like, okay, I gotta get through this section so I can start lifting heavy again. So I'm gonna drop a little bit of weight. I'm gonna get healthy, and then I can go back at it, and I can just figure out how to do it better this time. And even when I dropped down to 385 or 285 last time, that was probably the most that I really focused on my health. But you could see how easily I fell back into my old ways, and going back into strength and focusing on just getting stronger. And I'll be fine. If I just get stronger, I'll be fine. I just need to be stronger. And it's weird to look back now and see this and see that this is what's going on and how my brain was working. But it was clear. Like I could see this clearly, like, Chad, you never really looked at your health when you should have. And so right now it's like, hey, I'm going in to be, and I am healthy. I mean, for my size, I've already started dropping some weight, but basically the last few months, 320 to 330. I don't have high blood pressure. My blood works fine. Like I can move, I can ride my bikes, I can go hiking, but I mean, just this much mass to carry around is just a lot. So it became clear that I need to, for the first time, I need to put my health first. And putting my health first with my sleep and my depression, it's a world of difference if I'm lighter. And it's not like I'm not lean and I'm not a bodybuilder by any means, but I'm not obesely fat. I'm just kind of like muscular and fat. So in order for me to get back to 285, and I'm actually thinking something around 250 eventually, I'm going to have to lose muscle mass. Like I'm going to have to lose some strength, especially while I'm getting down there. Now, once I get down there, I may be able to go, hey, let's see how strong I can get at 250. Like, let me keep my health and see what I can do at 250. That's an option. I'm not guaranteeing any of that yet, but that's an option. Right now, my focus really needs to be on, hey, like you're going to have to drop weight. It means you're going to have to drop muscle mass. You're going to have to drop strength, and that's fine. Like, I have a lot of friends tell me all the time, they're like, Chad, you've proven everything you need to prove. Like you've put up world records. You've been on the biggest stages. Like you have numbers that are still impressive in history. Like let it go. And I've always said, yeah, it's not a problem. And I didn't think I had a problem with it. Now I'm thinking maybe I have a little problem with it. So it's hard to let go of that. But so now my goal is to drop weight. I want to get down. I want to get under 300 fairly quickly because I want to get off my CPAP and get my sleep a little better on track because that's going to keep making it better. And then after that, I want to go down in like 10-pound increments. I want to hit 290, then I want to hit 280, then I want to hit 270. So right now the main goal is lose weight. Like lose weight, pick up my cardio, pick up my endurance. Like I don't need to bench a massive amount of weight, but I want to be able to go out in the gym and bust out an hour of hard, fast-paced training. And then I want to still be able to go ride my bike later that night. I want to get in better shape. I still want to be strong, and I'm sure I'll still always be strong for my size. But the health is going to be the more important thing for me now. So yeah, I guess that's it. That's kind of how I've gotten here. Kind of where my goals are going to change. The 500-pound bench at 500 is right now, or 50. 500-pound bench at 50 that's done. I need to put my foot down, draw the line in the sand, and go, here's what's important. So this is where I'm at. This is where I'm going with this. So you'll see if you follow my Instagram, which I wish you would, it's just Chad. I think it's Chad-Ikes or just it should be easy to find. You're going to see my training change a little bit. I'm going to try to really stay consistent with everyday training of some sort, riding my bike more, getting a little more cardio in, really pushing these goals. So I'm going to let you guys go. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Please like this channel. Please subscribe to this channel. Please share this channel. I have a few more videos that I need to edit and get up right now. Some bench technique stuff, and I'm going to do one about GPP here in a minute. All right, guys. Thanks for following. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Follow my Instagram too, and I will talk to you guys later.